finish. So now we're going to go ahead and close up the cooker and go ahead and let the cooker start to generate heat. We're going to be cooking at 225 degrees on this thermometer, and this one over here will end up about 200 degrees.
Another Staney Prize winner, pork shoulder. Staney prefers Boston butt.
In competition, I typically cook bone-in Boston butts. It's one of the easiest cuts of meat to find.
Get to know your local butcher, or find a good butcher at one of your local grocery stores. When you can, definitely get your meats in cryovac. I choose to leave the bone in mine. There's a little bit of fat cap here. If it was more than, let's say, 3/8 of an inch, I might trim a little bit of it off. This is looks like a broken blood vessel here that, you know, isn't gonna add in. I don't know if it's gonna hurt anything, but it certainly can't add to the flavor of the meat. So we'll just look for stuff like that and cut those out. This one's got a little bit of excess fat right here on the top. These are now ready to be seasoned and go on the smoker here in just a few minutes.
I really think that the spice blends are the most important ingredient to really good barbecue. Barbecue's an art, but you also have to understand the science of applying heat to food or heat to meat to get it to cook. And I think that you have to understand that. Cook things at the right temperatures, understand that different rubs, different ingredients in your rubs will react different to different temperatures.
I've had several different rubs we've used in competition, but this one is really a great combination. What we're going to use today is a combination of a couple of commercially produced rubs that we do under the Cowtown label. These are real similar to the old Oklahoma Joe's products that a lot of people, the backyarders and competition cooks did. Those products aren't available anymore, so we came up with Cowtown.
Staney shares his sweet secret to a great rub.
The most important thing is to understand that you need a lot of sugar in your big cuts of meat rubs. People don't understand how much sugar they need to produce really good barbecue. So 2 parts of the salt and sugar, 1 part each, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and paprika. Then you've got to have a blending of peppers. I think blending pepper is a real important part of barbecue. Any rub that we have here at Oklahoma Joe's or anything I've ever used in competition has black pepper, red pepper, or cayenne pepper, and white pepper in it. All 3 have distinct characteristics and need to be used. But you're not going to use them in too big a quantity, so only maybe 1/4 of a part of each one of the peppers. That's a real good basic rub right there. Add a little bit of some type of a powdered citrus, like a lemon peel, to your brisket rub. Add cumin or sage to the pork rub.
Now it's time to season the product, and one of the things that I like to use is any type of a spray release type of product, because what it's going to do is it's going to help that rub stick to my product. And make sure it's extra heavy on the top side, because when we put the pork butts on, they're going to be this way. They're going to be this same fat side up, and we're never going to turn them or rotate them or anything in the cooker.
Staney says it's crucial to stay aware of your fire.
The mistake some people make when they're having to add fire every, let's say, hour or 2 is they add too late when the fire's already died down, and you've got to add whenever that fire's really hot. That way you'll get a nice consistent burn temperature.
One of the things I like about adding cold charcoal onto hot is all that smoke that's being generated right now. It is a wonderful flavor, so I always add cold charcoal to hot. We've just added the charcoal, and we're going to open this back butterfly damper all the way. That's going to allow as much air as possible in there, because we do want to go ahead and let that charcoal catch as soon as possible, since we want to get it up to temperature within the next half hour. And these are ready to go on the cooker now. Our cooker's at 225 degrees over there on that door. Just like we said, we're going to put the larger brisket onto the competition cooker. And I like to start my briskets and pork butts up in what I'll call the top left of the cooker. And we're going to take the larger pork butt and do the same thing. And we're going to put them right up there. And they're going to be just fine like that for probably a good 2 or 3 hours until that rub sets up and starts to form a crust. We'll get some smoke working with adding some wood right now.